New research from the consumer group Which has found that some supermarket-owned brands are so similar to some household names that they are confusing customers.
Yes, this survey, they spoke to more than 2,000 people and found that 1 in 5 of us has apparently accidentally bought a supermarket version of a favourite brand at least once.
Let's see if you can tell the difference between these. It's our very own breakfast. Spot the difference. This is Sarson's vinegar and Lidl's own brand vinegar. 40% of the people Which surveyed thought Lidl's version was actually the branded product.
They do look quite similar, the colours, isn't it? And we can look at another one as well, because 43% of people thought Aldi's own cream crackers were actually those, Jacob's brand of cream crackers.
Fewer people were fooled, though, by similarities between these shampoos. Only 13% of people surveyed thought Boots Fruit Essence shampoo was Clariol's herbal essences.
It is a remarkable coincidence, isn't it? Let's discuss it with supermarket consultant Phil Dorrell. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Good morning.
And we've got some other examples, we should say, shouldn't we?
We've been shopping. We'll show some of those in a second. But, I mean, is this something that is happening more and more?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the British are very well known for being great adopters of private label product. We're the nation with the second most market share of private label in the world. So Brits love private label products, there's no doubt about it. And there was a survey by Nielsen in 2011 that suggested that 2 out of 3 shoppers that bought own label product recommended that they were as good as, if not better, than the branded product.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because the sort of, you know, people are taking them off the shelves, and you can see various different things here, which look so similar. So perhaps, I mean, you might take it by mistake, mightn't you? And then think that it's as good as the branded product.
I think within that there's winners and losers. If you take, for instance, your Radox muscle, and you've bought the Sainsbury's version instead, and you take the Sainsbury's version, and actually you get it home, and you're halfway through the bottle thinking, oh, this is pretty good, I quite like it. And then you realise, hey, hold on, this isn't the Radox one.
Yes.
But you've been enjoying it, it's just been as good, but you've paid, I don't know, 20% less. You're a winner, surely. That's
the key, isn't it? Because they are often cheaper, aren't they?
Very much so, yeah.
The supermarket branded ones.
Very much so.
So what can people do about it? Does it matter, essentially, do you think, that they're doing
I don't think it does. I mean, I think it matters if you... I mean, if ideally you get home and this bath is not as good as the Radox one, then clearly you've been cheated a little bit. But in essence, most of the time, they're just as good, if not better.
We're talking about this very much from the consumer's point of view, but the consumer's being cheated. But what about the manufacturer of the original brand?
For example, the Kellogg's and this one.
I think there's no doubt about it. I think suppliers have a hard time. It's interesting. I was talking to Kate just outside your previous guest. She used to work for Unilever. And, you know, private label, she described as her nightmare. Simply because every time you come out with a nice new line, the supermarkets, large supermarkets, want to come up with an equivalent line that looks very similar and does the same job, that they make more money out of.
Can they protect it? I mean, can the original... I know
there's a certain amount of
copyright things, but can you copyright the brand image? We've got here, we've got a packet of own brands. Oh, there we go. We've got McVitie's. I won't name them, but you can see what they are, and a very similar-looking, coloured, own brand, different name, but...
Similar biscuit.
I think it's difficult for a supplier, really. If you think of that that branded biscuit, the Hobnob, which I've mentioned, perhaps shouldn't hold on, but that biscuit, those suppliers have got to talk to the retailer and say, actually, can you stop doing that? But can you still start, you know, selling my products for me?
That's the thing, isn't it? Because
difficult relationship.
The supermarkets kind of hold the key here, don't they? Because they bring in those products, they put them on their shelves, don't they? So they have an enormous amount of power.
Oh, absolutely. In the UK, no more so. I mean, in truth, the private label products are massive brands in and of themselves. So you look at Tesco's private label, it's actually bigger than Coca-Cola global sales. It's also bigger than PepsiCo global sales. These are enormous brands in and of themselves. And
the other thing is that we all know that, you know, you buy a product because you know what it looks like. So the manufacturers can't change it in some ways, can they? Because then we won't buy the product.
They've invested lots of money in trying to get that brand on the shelf, advertising it on TV and in the press, and so. You know, quite rightly, there are times when they feel a little bit aggrieved that someone's gone so close to their own brand. And that's a discussion for them and the supermarket to have.